World of Warcraft came out in 2004. Since then, we've had hell a bunch of expansion packs for that video game. Burning Crusade. Let's see if we can do them. Eric Tay.
Wrath of the Lich King.
Wrath of the Lich King.
Was that the second one?
What do you think, Justin?
That was the second one.
Burning Crusade.
Burning Crusade.
Burning Crusade.
Wrath of the Lich King.
Wrath.
Yeah.
Cataclysm.
I think.
Was there something before Cata?
Panda. Then Pandas.
No. Cataclysm, then Pandas?
Cata,
Then Draenor?
Yeah.
You guys...
It's the Panda and Cataclysm that's throwing me off. I'm pretty sure it's... No. I'm pretty sure it's Panda then Cata because I didn't play Pandaria. And then I played Cataclysm.
I go back and play every one for like about 2 weeks now. I'm like, all right, I got my bit.
Sure.
And we're going to do it all over again because brand new expansion pack, Legion, is coming out next year, and not a damn minute too soon, it would seem. With the we had a bunch of, at the top of Draenor, I think there was like 10 million people playing. What's the down to now? About
It
5.5?
got to 10, right?
It got to 10,
yeah.
with
I
Draenor.
mean, that's the problem. Like they're announcing this at the worst possible time. Like they should have already announced this because now it sounds like it's more of. I mean, we know it's not. We know they're working on these expansions as soon as one is finished.
Yes.
But it makes it sound like, oh, now that we're down to 5 million, we need a new expansion. Like, and it makes it more reactionary rather than like here's a planned thing.
So what have they said it's in Legion? We've got a Demon Hunter, new class.
They got new artifact weapons.
Yes.
Demon Hunter's a new hero class as well, and so it's not like a regular class you're going to take. It's more like the one in Wrath.
That one that was added back in Wrath, yeah. I'm trying to think about myself. The level cap's been brought up to 100. Death Knight, there you go. It's brought up from 100 to 110.
Yep.
And there'll be a bunch more quests. I interviewed the guys at Gamescom, and it sounded like this is almost entirely endgame stuff. Like they're concentrating on the endgame. Did you go back and play Draenor? Because from what I'm hearing from my mates who play WoW, the endgame in that was just not
slog.
Yeah, like not much raiding, lots of just going out and like accumulating resources. How did you find it?
Well, I mean, that's it. It made it even more of kind of a mini job where you go in, you check on your garrison every day, and like it's fun in that it keeps you coming back, but it's also the kind of thing that I can't keep doing. Like I just can't invest that much daily time. Like I did enjoy like let's run through it, let's level back up, and that's what Legion's going to offer as well. Like that they're going to be able to start you out at 100. If you want a new character, like oh cool, now I get another character, I can bump up straight to 100, get right into new content. But is there going to be stuff to do beyond that? How long is it going to take again to level up to 110?
Well, they have a brand new area, the Broken Isles. Seems like they're running out of areas to expand into.
No, man, they just spin it back in time, and then you just reuse it.
They did that already. Remember?
I know.
They did that already back in. I think that was Lich King when they went to have all the sort of ancient time bending stuff you could do.
So what I think they're going to do eventually is just tie this world into Destiny, much like
that is not.
Well,
happening.
Destiny's starved for content,
man.
and World of
That
Warcraft is starved for microtransactions.
the Destiny, the story, the lore, they'll come together. They're both Activision Blizzard. Those worlds will come together, and then you have a first-person. I
can't wait to play. Yeah, that Toys to Life Activision game that's come with all their properties. Eric Tay, is this? When was the last time you played WoW?
I played Draenor.
Okay.
I did a little bit of the raid when the very first one. I did a couple bosses. It was kind of like old days again. It's just one of those things of how much time do you want to spend to beat it and like get through it, and like do you enjoy it? Like it's still one of those games where you can find a guild or a clan to join to do the raid, but it's definitely not as fun when you're not doing it with people you know. Like part of the reason why I loved WoW so much or raiding before was because you get on with your 8, 10 friends, whatever it was, and then you guys would kind of like have a little mini social gathering, but still play the game. And so when I was doing the raid with like a pickup group or something, it was just really kind of hard to get through it, and I was like, I can't do this. And
I actually thought even the old like just LFG stuff was fun because you kind of had to go meet each other and like suss each other out. Whereas when they added in the like just looking for a party like immediate like the
dungeon
the
finder.
UI dungeon finder thing, it kind of took that bit of social aspect out of it as well.
Yeah. No more like direct message of like, I'm a warrior 60 wearing this.
I'm a 35 paladin, but I'm spec'd for the thing that you don't need.
The thing is though, at the end of the day, even if WoW subs are down to 5 million, it's going to spike back up to like 7 probably.
So this is the thing, right? I was talking to the two of the guys at Gamescom, and one of the things I was talking to you about was that peaking and valleying, because obviously if they reached up to 10 million and it dropped down, what they're seeing is that the highs are getting higher, but the lows are getting lower and they're getting faster. So the more expansion packs, or the later expansion packs, are having more people, but a faster fall off, or at least that's what they were sort of agreeing on. And the reason they were saying that is because they've got an aging demographic that they reckon is quicker to drop off and maybe go play something else. And then they're getting a lot of those people back. Like, people are almost saying, oh, that's cool, I'll come back when the next expansion pack comes.
But I feel like what we're seeing, we've never gotten back up to 15 million. Like, those peaks are still in the middle of the last high range. So you have like that high of over 15 million, and then down to 10 million, and then back up to 12 million, down to 9 million. And it just keeps, it's slowly arcing down. Like, the thing that's going to change that is when it goes free to play. And at this point, it has to be when it's free to play, and not is it going to go free to play.
Do you think it goes free to play? Because one of the things that I think might happen is that whenever they are ready for that to go free to play is when Blizzard launched their new MMO.
I'm not saying that that's not going to be the case. Like, I could see this being even 2 years out, 3 years out. But I think it has to happen eventually, and then that's when they're gonna. Well, I mean, are they gonna do another? Is there room for another World of Warcraft type MMO? Like, thinking about this expansion and how much time we've invested, like how much these subs have gone down. No one's ever been able to replicate what World of Warcraft has done, and what that means to us, except maybe in terms of Destiny. Can they even match that again with a massively multiplayer online game?
Well, how is WoW still retaining it? Because it's not like there wasn't, like, Guild Wars came out and everyone thought, oh, and you did see that initial, like, MMO people are so transient. Like, they move from one game to another all the time. We saw people go to Guild Wars and go to Guild Wars 2 and come back. We saw people go to Old Republic and come back. But, like, even if their numbers are only around the 5-6 million range, like, that's a lot of people. If you can keep them hooked and get them a new expansion pack, surely they'll want to do it again.
Yeah, it's like this huge nostalgia feeling. It's all the time you invested in your characters. It's all of that. It's in your head. Like, I've spent so much time playing this game. Here are all 10 of my characters or whatever. I have, like, the few friends that I still play with. Yeah, let's hop ship and play Guild Wars 2, or let's hop ship and play WildStar. Because everyone's trying to find the WoW killer. I hate using that term because everyone uses that term, but I always looked at it as WoW will never die until Blizzard decides to kill it off or make a game that kills it off, right? And so those games just don't have the hook, because everyone has this thing where they compare to WoW, and when they get to some point in that new game that they try, it's like, oh man, but you know what WoW does better than this? And then they start doing that, and then that's when the drop-off happens, and then they go back to WoW.
Yeah.
And then everyone, like you said, they'll play, they stop because they get tired of WoW or whatever, and then it's like, oh, new expansion, I'm all in. Watch, BlizzCon is going to have that same effect. It grabs everyone every time. It was the craziest thing for me was like E3, Destiny, Taken King. It hooked like 3 or 4 people in the office back in that I don't even see really playing at all. And they're all like, oh yeah, I'm totally in. So like, obviously Activision is doing something like with marketing or something.
People always have that thing where they want to go back to the character they've made, but that doesn't happen in a lot of other MMOs. Like, people, you'll max out a character in the Old Republic or in any of those games, and it doesn't have that same hook. But like, what is it, Justin? Is there something about the worlds that they've made? Is there something about that? Is it the time? Is it the fact that we've been playing this game for over a decade? Like, what do you think it is about World of Warcraft specifically that gets people coming back?
For me, that's what it is. It's just that I've played it for so long that I both have memories of having played with my friends. The first MMO that I really got into was Final Fantasy XI, and that never drew me. Like, that for me and playing with my friends, it was so much of a slog. And then World of Warcraft came along. It's like, this is what I wanted. Like, everyone's saying it's for babies, but it's fun. It's so accessible, and like all my other friends are playing it, and like I still have those good memories, and I still want to get them back when there's a new expansion that comes out, even if it doesn't quite capture it, or even if it only captures it for a week or a month.
Usually lasts a month, 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Because everyone's like, oh yeah, let's get back into it. And then like you have your 5 friends or something that you kind of play with, and you're like, all right, sweet. And then you all level up, and then you do a couple dungeons, and then you see one guy stop. Then you see the next guy stop. Then you see the next guy stop. And then lo and behold, I'm the one dude sitting in like town by myself, like, oh yeah.
In Barnes chat.
Now I realized why I don't normally agree to this, and I feel like I got suckered by my friends. But it's like that mini camaraderie and the mini fact of like, oh yeah, like, when the expansion comes out, you get to experience something slightly new in WoW that you didn't get to before, and that's like, but you also get the nostalgia feeling of like, oh yeah, you get, so you get a little bit of both.
I have this thing where I go back, and I almost go back and not to even play the new stuff, but it's like when I go back and visit my hometown, and I just walk into the grounds of my old school, Like just to see what they've changed. You know, like, oh, I remember.
Just look around.
That's where that's where I did that, and that's where I scored that goal, and that's where I bought those drugs off that guy. And then, oh look, they painted it. That's
like,
they've
look at
added-
what's different.
Yeah, look at what's different. They're like, oh look, there's some kid buying drugs over there. That little nostalgia feeling. Last question for you guys, Justin Haywold, will you go back and play?
Oh, I mean,
Jean?
definitely.
Yeah?
No matter what, I love the limited editions. Like, as embarrassing is
Oh
that.
no,
is, my
you have
shelf,
them all.
I have all of them. Like my shelf.
They got them.
They look so good on the shelf. Like they just look like next to my books. I don't mind sharing them off or showing them off. Like a girl comes over, looks at my bookshelf, is like, yeah, look at all the books and some WoW things. You don't even know the World of Warcraft. Those are classy video
She's
games.
like, what's your slash played? No one's ever said. Eric Tay, will you go back and play Legion?
I won't unless it's for work.
You liar.
That's an
You
answer
liar.
everyone can empathize with.
I did make a strong stand at one point. I didn't play Mists of Pandaria. I played a little bit of Cataclysm because my friends really pushed hard.
That was great. That was
And
the
then-
ultimate going back and see how messed up your school is. Because it was just like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm going to go to a place I didn't even give a shit about when I played the first time. Just as, oh, look, 1,000 needles. It's all flooded and shit. It was great.
I hope not, but we'll see.
All right. Let us know what you think about Legion and whether or not you're going to go back and play when it comes out sometime next year. We'll probably find out at BlizzCon.